Hello dear viewers and welcome back to our channel. Today we pull back the velvet curtains on one of the most sensational leaks to rock the palace in recent memory, the unauthorized publication of Operation London Bridge, the secret, comprehensive plan for the King's funeral and the palace's frantic attempts to muzzle the press. Buckle up, because this story has everything: clandestine leaks, frantic damage control, whispers of censorship, and the irresistible aroma of palace intrigue. Imagine this. It's a quiet Tuesday morning when the Daily Telegraph drops a bombshell. Headline: Full blueprint for the King's state funeral leaked. Within hours, every news desk from Fleet Street to Fairfax is ablaze. The document, meticulously detailed, spans dozens of pages: schedules, delegations, coded roles for royals, military parade timings, coffin routes, even contingency plans should rain drench the crowds. It's the crown jewels of classified royal information, now circulating among tabloids and trending on Twitter. The leak exposes Operation London Bridge in its rawest form. We learn that the King's coffin will rest overnight in Westminster Hall, guarded by 100 yeoman warders, that the procession to St. Paul's Cathedral will take precisely 17 minutes, that world leaders will arrive at Heathrow Terminal 5 before being whisked under tight security corridors, that knitters across the realm have been quietly crafting 2,000 black mufflers for mourners, and that the Guard of Honour comprises 5 regiments, each selected for historical connections to the late monarch. Every vivid detail, from the artillery salute at Hyde Park Corner to the black-lacquered horses draped in woolen caparisons, is laid bare. For the palace, this is a day of absolute crisis. Behind closed doors at Buckingham and Clarence houses, senior courtiers assemble an emergency task force. Their mission: identify the source of the leak and contain the damage before loyal subjects turn from reverence to scandal. Palace Communications Director Penelope Marchbanks issues a terse statement: "We deplore the unauthorized disclosure of highly sensitive information intended only for official channels. Investigations are underway to hold those responsible to account." But the statement rings hollow when every detail is already splashed across front pages. Suddenly, a new twist. Rumors circulate that the palace has threatened legal action against the Telegraph, citing official secrets legislation, and quietly dispatched cease-and-desist letters to social media influencers. Screenshots of solicitors' letters demanding tweets be deleted go viral. Privacy advocates and press freedom defenders erupt. Censorship, they cry. The monarchy trying to scrub history before it's even happened. #campaigns swell, #save the bridge, #press not princess, and opinion pieces polarize the nation. Meanwhile, the leak's provenance becomes the drama's heartbeat. Was it an inside job by a disgruntled military aide? A digital hack by foreign actors? Or a rogue palace cleaner who pocketed a printout? MI5 quietly joins the investigation, combing CCTV in corridors where the original binder was stored. Insiders whisper about a frightened junior aide seen scuttling from a secure room clutching a manila envelope. Some speculate the real motive: to undermine the palace's image of flawless control and to remind the public that the monarchy, despite its aura of perfection, is riddled with human error and vulnerability. As days pass, the palace faces a dilemma: double down on suppression, risking a Streisand effect that only fuels public fascination, or embrace strategic damage control by releasing a sanitized summary of London Bridge's key points. Sources close to the regent reveal heated debates in Privy Council chambers. Some advise transparency: better we control the narrative than let tabloids write it for us. Others fear any official release will validate the leak and reward the perpetrators. It's a high-stakes game of chess where every public statement is measured, every photograph carefully vetted, and every word parsed for hidden meaning. On the streets of London, conversations teeter between awe and dismay. Over pints in the local pub, patrons debate whether the monarchy's obsession with secrecy is archaic or essential. In bustling cafes, students annotate digital copies of the leaked plan, debating the symbolism of each ceremonial element. Tourists snap selfies with protesters holding placards that read "Open the palaces, no more secrets." Even in the corridors of power at Westminster, MPs table urgent questions: what steps is the government taking to safeguard state security while respecting press freedoms? The leak has blurred the boundary between crown and country. Amid this uproar, the palace employs a two-pronged response. First, they leak a small, carefully curated dossier, an official guide to mourning protocol highlighting only general information, dates of lying in state, invited nations, and the broad themes of public commemoration. By controlling the partial narrative, they hope to undercut the Telegraph's exclusivity. Second, they launch a behind-the-scenes multimedia campaign, interviews with royal household staff, stories of grief counseling teams preparing to support palace workers, profiles of tireless volunteers knitting those black mufflers. It's soft power at work, humanizing the institution and reminding the public of the heartfelt sorrow underpinning the ceremony. Yet every attempt at recalibration seems to fuel the fire. Critics argue the sanitized guide is mere window dressing, a PR stunt to distract from the deeper issue of transparency. Civil liberties groups warn that legal threats to social media users set dangerous precedents. Meanwhile, tabloids run sensational speculation about a second leak, Operation Royal Equation, the secret plan for the king's final will and private letters to his children. The palace denies it, but the rumor mill churns relentlessly. Behind the scenes, some senior royals watch the unfolding chaos with measured concern. The heir apparent reportedly convened a private meeting with palace advisors, urging calm. "We must honor our father's memory, not fan the flames of controversy." Yet whispers suggest others see the leak as a cautionary tale, a reminder that in the digital age, even the most impenetrable walls can be breached by a single keystroke or a moment of human oversight. As autumn dawns and the date of the funeral draws near, public sentiment softens. The leak is still hot news, but the focus gradually shifts to tributes and personal anecdotes about the late king's life, school visits he made, wartime rallies he inspired, charities he championed. The palace's multimedia campaign succeeds in reframing the narrative, from a security breach to a celebration of legacy. Crowds begin practicing the silent vigil for the lying-in state, and thousands volunteer to line the procession route, mufflers in hand. In the final tally, Operation London Bridge's leak forced the monarchy to confront a modern paradox. To maintain mystique, it must embrace transparency. To preserve authority, it must share vulnerability. The attempted censorship ignited a firestorm but also accelerated reforms, tighter digital security protocols, clearer guidance on what counts as state secret, and a new advisory council on media relations. Perhaps most enduringly, the palace acknowledged that in an age where every heart has a camera and every corridor a microphone, the monarchy can no longer rely on absolute secrecy. It must navigate a complex dance between tradition and openness, lest the next leak unveil not just funeral plans but the fragile human dynamics at the throne's core. What do you think, dear viewers? Was the palace right to fight tooth and nail for secrecy, or did the leak serve the public interest by exposing an outdated culture of concealment? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this inside look at royal crisis management, give this video a like, subscribe for more behind-the-scenes explorations, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the drama behind the crowns. Until then, keep your curiosity alive and remember, even the grandest institutions are vulnerable to a single spark of revelation.